one and all. Welcome to Slapendipity, Hobos of Happy Slappy Town. I am Eric, who you may call Eric, and with me is Devin, who you may call Gibby. Say hello to the fine people.
Hello, everyone. Hello. How's everyone doing? This is gonna be a quick one. It's gonna be a short one. We're gonna boop 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 all the way through
quick
this.
One.
Just straight up beep booping it.
Beep boop bop, boo boo beep bop, if you will. Now, do you know why you beep boo bop and boo boo beep bop instead of boo boo bop, beep boo beep?
Incoherent question. Let's move on.
Okay, right. So, I'm sorry, I was just practicing for a different language that'll be relevant maybe in 10 years or so. To any medium-term listeners, you may have heard that we went to Japan. And in the world, but especially in Japan, at least for me, they have a magical toilet application called a bidet.
This is true.
It is a little device in the toilet, and it just sprays water up your butt. I was trying to think of a nicer way to say it.
There's no better way.
There's no better way.
Right on up there.
You can adjust the pressure and the angle so it doesn't miss and or hits in that just right spot. And it just helps you be a little cleaner. And it is magical. So I went and got one. Turns out there is a company, Tushy, not sponsored.
Not sponsored. I was gonna say, I've seen so many Tushy ads on YouTube for like
I've
years
seen
and years and years.
So many. So I hadn't seen them for years, but like when I came back from Japan, I started seeing them and I was like, wait a minute, my friends have a bidet, I think by the same people. So I messaged out to them and I was like, hey, is this like actually as easy as it claims to be? Is it worth it? Like, you know, is this, how much of this is a scam? And they were like, no, it was, you know, it's pretty good. It, you know, does its job. It's not too expensive in the world of bidets, I guess. And, you know, would recommend. And I was like, it's good enough for me. So I got my own, and it kind of really is easy to install. You unscrew the toilet seat for your lid. Wait. The toilet seat of your toilet, so that the lid and the seat come up, and then you put the bidet in, and then you put the screws from the toilet seat stuff back on in it, and then your toilet seat and the lid is sitting on top of the bidet, essentially. And then you screw back in, and you adjust with the water pressure so you're not spraying water everywhere. And you connect the hoses and you're set. It took at most 20 minutes, and then I've just been coasting ever since.
So it's how is the experience compared to the expensive, high quality Japanese ones?
So it doesn't have any sound setting. If, you know, maybe you're a little nervous to go to the bathroom or you don't want people to hear you, there are bidets that will have like speakers and make noise like rushing waters or birds chirping, generic white noise, I guess. Doesn't have that. I don't need that. That's fine. So the ones that we, for the most part, used, were in like hotels or like public restrooms. I don't believe you could adjust the angle or anything in public restrooms. You just kind of had to move yourself around. So it's nice that you can like adjust the pressure and stuff, because it's like, oh, you know, maybe you're a little scared and you're just trying it out, or maybe you're like, nah, just full blast, or anything in between, and it gets you. It gets you, and you can see the results.
You can see the results?
Yeah.
You're flexible. Much more flexible than I am.
Wait, what?
You can see the results of the bidet. You're much more flexible than I am if that's the case.
Okay. I've been trying to not get too gross, but I will go deeper into the grossness if I must.
Just like the bidet will, then your hand possibly could.
Exactly. Even, you can see the results without being flexible, because if you look into the toilet after you've done your business, you can see little, spots and specks that, realistically did not come from your number 2 movement, but it came from the water spraying it out.
Interesting.
It is not heated, although that's slightly more of a toilet seat thing. And it does not use warm water, partially because, at least the model I got, because if I were to get one that had warm water options, I would have to hook it up to the warm water from, the sink or something, and then, it would have to heat up for me to use it, which I'm just not gonna be letting it heat up on my bum for that long, to the point where it finally gets warm/hot. I want this to be in and out. So I just
hopefully just out, actually. So
it's true. So it's just
can't
cold
have
water.
it, because in public bathrooms in Japan, they were always warm.
Yes,
but it would not be the same in a house with a hot water heater type deal.
I mean, you could get I don't fully know. I got the version that I got, and that was the research I did into it. Didn't really look into the warm water stuff. But I'm assuming, right, in the same way that when you go to wash your hands, if you just have the hot water turned on, it's still cold in the start. So, to me, it makes sense that even if you had the warm water hooked up to the bidet, if it hasn't been used for a while, it still needs a moment for the warm water to get warm,
I see. Okay.
But maybe you could buy fancier ones that they have the warm water always warm, and it just kind of cycles it, or I don't know. I do not know. I just wanted something to try it out, and I knew I would like it, but I was just like, oh, is it worth it? Do I really want to go balls to the walls on other bidet options? Let me just, get this essentially starter kit, which is not meant to be a disservice to Tushy. I just feel like it's trying to be a bit more affordable on purpose, and therefore a little more simplified. But
how would you rate?
Mm-hmm.
How would you rate it at the moment?
I would recommend it on a scale of 10. I would say probably a 9.
So you can rate a bidet on a scale of 1 to 10, but you can't rate an event that has been hosted for you on a scale of 1 to 10? What is this?
What? I'm sorry, what do you refer?
Many, many episodes ago, I was like, Eric, rate the speed dating event on a scale of 1 to 10, and you're like, I don't know how to do that, but you can rate a bidet?
A bidet has functions and rules and logic. Speed dating is all about rules. Vibes. A bidet has rules! You gotta... Listen, it is customary to put your butt down and have it spray the water up. Could you do other things? Sure, you could, but that's not really in the rules now, is it? I give it a 9 out of 10 because it was a easy install, even with basically no plumbing knowledge. Somewhat affordable, it's still kind of pricey. I believe it was under $150.
Yeah, I've looked into it. It's about $120 before tax.
which is a pretty penny, but I think worth it, especially since it'll be a toilet long investment at least. And you can, if you move or something, or the toilet breaks, you just unscrew it and it pops out, and you take it to a new toilet or something. So it's simple, easy to install and use, and that's all I can really ask for, because the water is coming from the water supply I already have, and that's river water. It is cold. But that, I'm not gonna give it flack for the water.
Okay, so it's cold, but like, what's the experience of it being so cold? Because again, when we were in Japan, the water comes out kind of lukewarm. It's kind of nice. The idea of, especially first thing in the morning, like getting all real deep in there with kind of a rough stream of water that's freezing cold seems almost like I would just choose not to use it at that point, and thus would defeat the purpose.
Okay, so to adjust the angle, there is a little almost light switch that you can shift accordingly, and to adjust the pressure, there is a little knob that you can shift accordingly, and there is the knob has like a switch aspect to it, so that when it is in the off position, it takes a bit more force to turn it. So that way it stays in the off position, so you don't accidentally squirt the water around. That being said, the pressure settings, thanks to the knob, you can, it doesn't have to be a rough spray. You can do a little gentle stream or a trickle. It'll take a little bit longer to, get as much as you want gone without using a rough spray. In terms of the coldness aspect, it kind of becomes a non-factor after a few seconds. Like, if you wash your hands with cold water, you put them in, and for a second you're like, ooh, this is cold. And then you like soap and, just keep your hands in there, and you're like, this is whatever. It's still cold, but like now you're used to it, and so it's just a nothing. That's how I feel with the cold water from the bidet, of like, yeah, for the first second, you're like, ooh, hello there. And then 2 more seconds pass, and you're like, oh, okay, I know what's going on here. Your body adjusts pretty well. I think. At least my body does.
Okay. So we've been sort of, me and you have both been talking about getting these since we returned from Japan back in May. And I told my family about it. I'm like, guys, I cannot live without one. It's insane. And it just kind of fell by the wayside because my family was like, oh, aren't they expensive? Aren't they difficult to install? So hearing that you got one, I was immediately excited. I'm like, yes, it's going to be realistic. And then you said the cold water thing. And I'm like, well, that maybe it's a deal breaker. Well, so I told you, I'm like, you know what? Maybe after like a week of you having it, I'll ask you again, and that'll inform my decision.
Yeah.
So I will ask you again next week.
Okay.
However,
yes.
I have come up with a different answer, a different way of solving this issue.
Okay.
I'm going to be in your house in less than a week.
You are?
We're having a get-together.
I expect you to use it.
I will use it. Even if I don't have to use it.
Even if you don't have to.
I'll test it. I'll be like, Eric.
Yeah.
I'll be like, Eric, listen. You just, your enchantment Kalia deck in Magic the Gathering just killed me. So now I'm out of the game. I'm going to go upstairs. I don't need to go to the bathroom. I'm going to be in the bathroom
for half an hour.
I'm going to use your bidet. I'm just going to test it. We're going to see how this goes.
Okay.
And that'll be the deciding factor. If I get it or not.
I am excited for you, even just I hope you get one so that we may be bonded in this way. But even not, I just look forward to your experience with it.
Yeah, because again, it's frustrating. If anyone out there like isn't an American or sort of doesn't like understand why it's a big deal, bidets are not. I would literally say it's sort of like not culturally accepted. I don't know if that's going too far. But I think if you told most people that, like, you had one, or that you wanted one, or you enjoyed them, you'd get funny looks. And maybe that's just, like, the sort of anti-European sentiment that a lot of Americans have. But they're considered weird. They're not normal. There are people I know who, if I had one, they would be like, no, I'm not using it. Like, on principle, I'm not using it.
They are, at best, uncommon.
Yes.
Because I used to have a boss, and I have no idea how it came up in conversation. This was so many years ago. But he was like, oh, I have a bidet. And I remember being like, what? What do you mean? And him just, like, explaining it. And I was like, no, I know, but, like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's just bad. And I used to be one of those people. I get it, at least to some capacity. You know, I try to be open-minded, but, you know, when the first time you hear it, you're like, water up your butt? And it, I don't know, that's, and then you try it, and you're like, I've been naive, and I have seen the light. So, you know, I have others that I live with, and they are very, very not bidet-minded. They don't ever plan on using it, and I'm just like, but why? You don't have... There's a better path. You know, it's like purposefully walking down an unkept road that's hurting your feet, and it's gravelly, and it's just making it harder on yourself, and there's a nice paved road, or even a grass pathway, and it's like, you have better options, and you're just like, nah, I want the pain, actually. I want the hurt. Because not everyone buys nice, comfy toilet paper. And, you know, the more comfy you get, the more expensive they are, so I get that. But some toilet paper hurts.
I don't get not trying one. That's my thing. If you don't like it, then fine. But, like,
sure.
To not even attempt
is very
odd to me.
It's the same thing as, like, with food, right? Of, like, hey, try this, you know, I don't know. You know, try Hawaiian pineapple on pizza.
Disagree. I disagree about everything you're saying with this.
And it's the same, you know, you can at least try it. It's not going to blow up. At best, you'll have a new thing that you like and want to go into. At worst, you go, okay, I definitely know I don't want this.
I disagree that those are equivalent.
Yeah,
I
that's
wonder
right.
how it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking about how much better things would be if we could adopt a lot of the things that we saw in Japan here. Like, everything besides the trains would be a great thing for America to take.
The trains are one of the best parts!
One train hater over here.
Devin, a bullet train connecting New York to LA? That would go so hard. That would be insane. Imagine not only a bullet train connecting LA to New York, but multiple bullet trains around the country connecting various places from, I don't know, what's it, Miami to Seattle? That's crazy. Crazy. You could get to places so fast, and you could experience the land on a train.
Literally slower than a plane, but...
Yeah, but by how much? How much slower? And how much does it even matter? Not much, I would say. Speed isn't the only thing in determining a travel option. Would I want, you know, as someone who, like, traveled the country, am I going to do that in the plane? No, that'd be ridiculous. I did it in a van. Or some type of camper. A car, you know, the way we built the country for. And we can build the country for trains.
Anyway, I'm on the my political party is pro bidet, anti trains. That's where we're going.
That's such a hot. Who's gonna be in that party? It's gonna be you and one other guy. Who's pro bidet but anti train? That's insane.
We can debate them. You know, you got anti train, anti bidet guy over there, pro train, pro bidet guy over there. I'm the moderate in the middle who's like, guys.
No,
I think we need to be a little more open minded, but like not that open minded.
Would it be weirder if someone was anti-bidet, pro-train? No, that I think
I will vote for trains as long as they don't have toilets in.
Gosh. I just want to say for the record, one of my other people that I know also uses a bidet, right? And they were like, oh, I heard you got a bidet. Do you like it? And I was like, yeah, it's great. And he was like, yeah, I have a bidet too. They're great. I've never met a bidet user that was like, actually, it was bad.
Yes,
Imagine bidets on a train.
I have yet to meet someone who has tried them who does not like them, which is why I'm so anti, like, this idea that, like, that you just wouldn't try them. I know people who have tried pineapple pizza and don't like it. I have known 0 people who tried a bidet and don't like it. That's sort of my thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and also, you know, taste buds are individual. Everyone's got different taste buds. Everyone's got the same butt.
Everyone has a butt. Everybody poops. Everybody has the same butthole. Yeah. To be closed-minded for the sake of being closed-minded, what are you trying to achieve? Who are you trying to prove yourself to?
Literally in the privacy of your own bathroom. No one will even know if that's part of it.
No one will ever know. No, yeah. If you're weird, maybe if you're in public, you're like, hey, I don't use public restrooms. I think they're gross, and I only go to the bathroom at home. Therefore, I have never tried the bidet. Makes sense. But have you considered getting your own bidet? That would suck, though, if you got a bidet and didn't like it. Yeah. But if you're living with someone, maybe they will like it, and then it's not a waste of money. Also, you can return it. It's fine. Returning things is so... I don't know. Like, everything. You can return anything and everything. I think.
You know what you can't return is, listen.
Trains?
Listen. No, you can return a bidet after you've used it if you don't like it.
Okay.
You cannot return toilet paper if you used it and you don't like it.
Hey,
so really, sunk cost fallacy here.
Right.
Use a bidet.
Yeah. I also feel like it might come up, so people are going to get to know me a little too well.
Good lord.
Because, some people are going to be like, oh, Eric, now that you use a bidet, you don't use any toilet paper, I bet.
Well, no, you still use the toilet paper.
You still use the toilet paper. And that, because some people were like, well, isn't your butt just like drenched and your underwear is soaked now? And it's like, no, it's only a little bit. And then you use the toilet paper as well, and that helps dry it up. The only way you soak your undies is if you just leave it running for a minute.
Yes, that like you Mr. Anti-bidet person out there who's like, wouldn't there be all these problems? It's like, if those problems existed, they wouldn't be ubiquitous in Japan and France. Like, you don't think people have solved this problem?
Yeah. Solved. So, that's how I spent my weekend. Just in the bathroom on a bidet.
Oh my lordy. So, do you think that this is something that I don't want to say like, oh, it'll define you, but I feel like there are some attributes that people have that sort of become a talking point the moment it's brought up, right? Like if you're I'm trying to think of a job. If you're just like an office worker and someone's like, "Oh, what do you do?" and you say, "I'm an office worker," they go, "Okay," and then they move on. Whereas if you say you're a YouTuber, they have a million follow-up questions.
Yeah.
I feel like if someone learns you have a bidet, they will almost necessarily have follow-up questions.
Right.
It's one of the follow-up question attributes a person can have.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for that life?
Hey, I've already been living it. I've,
What, for a
I've,
week?
I mean, unrelated, oh, not unrelated, but like in Japan, I would be like, whoa, it's so great and it's so cool. And everyone would just kind of shrug and go, yeah, I guess. I don't know how I'm going to use one. And I'd be like, true. And yes, and now I have had one, and it, and for a few days, I have become this person of just like, you're still in the dark. Allow me to lighten the path with water. You heard cleansing by fire. Get ready for cleansing by water. Air dry? Actually,
Yeah, I've had people ask, like, oh, like, there's air dryers and stuff. I'm like, well, like, there can be, but, like, those aren't the basic features.
Yeah, no, it's, I think I will kind of go off about it anytime anyone asks me a follow-up question, because in the way that, like, you're just trying to help people.
Yeah, and I think that's
also,
one of the
they
things that might be... People will ask, yes, but I think it's partially frustrating, because let's say that, like, we're at a friend's house or something, or just, like, you're at a friend's house, and you come out, like, your first thought after using their bathroom will be like, God, I wish they had a bidet. And so it might be something that you sort of feel like you can bring up. Just come out of the bathroom and be like, yo, dude, like, just so you know, you should get one, because they're, like, just so good.
Interesting.
And then you'll be sort of the pushy person who brings it up every single time you go to someone's house.
Yeah, I didn't think about this when you asked the question. I was, people ask you of like, oh, blah, 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 blah. But like, yeah, that's going to be so weird. At some point, I will poop not in my house. And I will not have a bidet. How will that change me? Will it change me? What? What does that mean? I don't know.
Questions to ponder.
Yeah, I no, this has me I am curious to like listen to this in a year and see like future me listening to this episode being like, wow, I didn't know I was so confused back then. I brought about the bidet revolution and I didn't even know yet.
Or just be like, this has ruined other toilets for me. Well, okay, bad phrasing. Just be like, this this has made it uncomfortable to go anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would not be a problem because, I mean, if you're pooping not at your toilet, you're probably pooping the once. Like, if you're hanging out with friends, if you poop, like, more than once at your friend's house and you're just hanging out for the day, there's something going on with your diet, I think. But but I guess if you stay at, like, an Airbnb, you're on vacation, you're gone for a week, then what do you do? I guess you just poop. So, you know what my thoughts have been going to in this right now?
What?
It's not like, oh no, other bathrooms aren't gonna have bidets and then I'm gonna like, it's gonna suck. It's other bathrooms won't have bidets, and then if they have bad, scratchy toilet paper, that is going to suck all the more. Because I already don't like scratchy toilet paper. No one does. But it's, it's there. It's around. And so then I think my high is a new high. It's higher highs and lower lows. I think that's what the bidet will introduce. And then what I consider average will be like a new average. So I would be okay with, an average toilet paper, but then having experienced the bidet plus average toilet paper, Then they'll, like the nicer toilet paper will become the new average without the bidet. The bathroom experience, Devin, what have I done?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with this. It's like, you've ruined X, Y, and Z for yourself forever.
Oh no. I didn't I didn't fully think through all of the consequences. However, most of the time I'm pooping at home. So
correct.
It's kind of a non-issue, and if I care that much, I'll just bring good toilet paper with me. And then that should solve it. I think bidets are on the rise.
Travel bidet. Just install it whenever.
Oh, yeah. You could get a
like seed
bidet.
Bombing?
Yeah.
Or, like, yarn bombing. Just buy a bunch of them, and whenever you're at a friend's house, just, like, sneak install them.
LOL. There is, I think it is on Tushy, their website, that there are travel bidets that you could just kind of... I think it's kind of like a bottle or something that you just kind of squeeze.
I saw that. It's not the same. Trust me.
No, it would not be the same, but in a pinch, What if okay. To go back to your question of, like, would I become that guy? Riddle me this on how you would feel. What if for holidays and gift giving, I just got everyone I knew a bidet?
People might not install them. Like you kind of gotta do trials. You kind of gotta just, like, invite everyone over and be like, hey guys, just, like, feel free to use it, help yourself.
But, like, because people either would or wouldn't install it, and the people that would install it would then send a follow-up message being like, oh my gosh, you changed my pooping experiences. I can never go back, thank you. And I'd be like, you're welcome. And anyone that didn't message me back, I'd be like, they are still in the dark. I've done everything I can for them, but they are a lost lamb. I'm so sorry. They are a lost seahorse.
A lost seahorse?
Yeah. Because water and horses are kind of like lambs. So a seahorse is the most related to a lamb.
And with that, we'd like to thank you for watching this newest episode of Slapendipity. Hope it was a happy Slappy Town. You can always reach out to us on our email. That's slapendipity@gmail.com if you want to write in some of your own views or your own reviews of bidets, and we'll gladly read them on the next episode of Slapendipity.
It doesn't have to be bidet related, but it will go up on the priority list if it is. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.